It is Thursday, the 25th of July, 2024. My name is Pigeon Rose, and this is my song of the day. Today's song from 69 Love Songs by the Magnetic Fields is the wonderful Come Back from San Francisco. I don't engage with a lot of fandoms. I see comments on videos and occasionally I'll look up things on Reddit, but I don't hang out in forums or things like that. Well, I'm showing my age saying forums, but you know what I mean? Fucking fan discords and shit. I'm in a few fan discords for small podcasts, but I'm not part of any big fan groups or anything. So I don't tend to know what songs are fan favorites unless it's really obvious, it's one they always play at concerts, or it has a bajillion views compared to all the rest of their stuff. And I didn't think Come Back from San Francisco would be a fan favorite, but it seems to be a fan favorite, most certainly. People love this song. And I'm glad about it. When I listen to the album, it's so simple and sparse. And I just didn't assume it would be. I assumed that the ones that would be fan favorites are the more kind of layered, weird ones. But no, yeah, people like this song, and good, they have taste. So this song is the 7th song on CD1. It actually comes directly after I Don't Want to Get Over You, which I talked about on Monday. You'll notice throughout the week, I did at least one song from each CD, but it's heavily weighted towards CD1 because it's the best. It's the best disc. But the other two discs are great as well. It's just most of my favorite songs are on. Or, well, at least CD1 has the most of the tracks I like, but some of my very favorite songs are on the later CDs, as you will find out during the week. Anyway, so this song, Come Back from San Francisco, the vocals are by Shirley Simms, with background vocals by LD Baytall. I don't know if we've talked about him yet, actually. I'm thinking about it, actually. All the tracks I have for this week are Stephin Merritt, Claudia Gonson, and Shirley Simms. I didn't have any LD Baytall or Dudley Clute songs. What do you know? Anyway, like I said, it's Shirley Simms on vocals, and it's a pretty simple song, less than 3 minutes, as so many songs on this album are. So we'll just go ahead and listen to it and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. The thing that strikes me about this song is that it feels very poetic. And that might sound like a stupid thing to say, but the lyrics really read to me like a poem. Something about the structure, even though it's verse-chorus, something about the structure of it and the formation of the sentences feels like a poem to me. Maybe that's just because it's the way Stephin Merritt writes, I don't know. But it stands out amongst the songs on this album, I think, for some reason like that. So, lyrically, the song is about a gay man whose lover goes off to San Francisco, and then he's like, oh, I wish you would come back because I'm going to lose you to that place. Because San Francisco kind of has this reputation for being a queer paradise, you know? And he's like, please come back from San Francisco. I'm all the gay that you need. kind of thing. I mentioned how Stephin Merritt tends to keep his lyrics relatively gender neutral, but I mean, this one is quite specific about being about gay men. And then it's sung by a woman for some reason. But I like the way Stephin Merritt plays around with that kind of thing, writing these lyrics that are clearly about gay men and then having a woman sing it, you know? It's a really interesting thing. And at the same time, that might seem like a weird thing to do, but I can't imagine someone other than Shirley Simms singing this. She's perfect. And I say that. I've watched a video of Stephin Merritt singing it, and obviously it still sounds good, but this is the version. It was made for her, you know what I mean? It just makes sense. Musically, it's pretty simple. It's just the guitar. Is it just the guitar? I think it is, actually. Just the guitar and vocals. I love the way the vocals kind of weave in and out of each other. The lead and the backing by LD Baytall. I keep saying his name, by the way. I've never heard it said out loud. I just assume that's how it's pronounced looking at it. Beghtol. Could be Bechtal or something like that, but it would be spelled with a C then. I don't know. I assume it's LD Baytall. Anyway, let's go through the lyrics. Come back from San Francisco. It can't be all that pretty when all of New York City misses you. Should pretty boys and discos distract you from your novel, remember I'm awful in love with you. It's also very Stephin Merritt to have rhymes like that. Rhyming novel with awful is kind of a bad rhyme, but it works just because the delivery. Distract you from your novel. Remember, I'm awful in love with you. There's just something about the delivery of it that makes that terrible rhyme work. Pretty and city is a more conventional rhyme. It works fine. Novel and awful wouldn't work in a lot of circumstances, but it works here. So yeah, like I said, I mean, the message is explained in this first bit here. I like how sometimes you come up with a premise for a song and then you're like, fuck, what the fuck rhymes with that? So rhyming San Francisco with disco makes complete sense. Of course, should pretty boys and discos to rhyme with come back from San Francisco is Perfect. I love that. I like, by the way, how it's should pretty boys and discos distract you from your novel. It's implying that this person went away to San Francisco to work on their novel, which is like a weird, it's a weird thing to do, but sure, maybe they're writing a book about San Francisco, who knows. But yeah, also the phrase "I'm awful in love with you," I know it's there to rhyme with novel, but it is kind of it feels quite posh, almost like I'm awful in love with you. I don't know. You need me like the wind needs the trees to blow in. Like the moon needs poetry, you need me. So as someone pointed out on Genius, the irony of this statement is that the wind does not need the trees and the moon does not need poetry. So it's a terrible comparison. But at the same time, it's quite sweet. You need me like the wind needs the trees to blow in, like the moon needs poetry. It just kind of, these things don't actually need those, but they are a thing that is notable about them, and it kind of adds sort of a beauty to it. It feels quite sweet. It's actually bringing something to this relationship, you know. There's a lot of references on this album to the moon being the inspiration for poetry, and I guess it is, but when I think about the moon and poetry, I think of this album referencing the moon and poetry, so it's kind of recursive. You got like the moon needs poetry. In I Don't Believe in the Sun, he says, "The moon to whom the poet's croon has given up and died, astronomy will have to be revised." There's Blue You on, I think, CD3, where he's like, "The moon was singing the blues," you know, all this sort of stuff. It's just an interesting thing that I mean, fitting in with 69 Love Songs being about love songs, he sure does write a lot of lyrics about people writing lyrics about the moon. Anyway, verse 2. "Come back from San Francisco and kiss me, I've quit smoking. I miss doing the wild thing with you. Will you stay? I don't think so, but all I do is worry. Pack bags, call cabs, and hurry home to me." So the "kiss me, I've quit smoking" I really enjoy. I don't know if it's supposed to imply like I taste better or if it's saying I'm doing self-improvement, I'm better, come home and kiss me, you know. But then you have "I miss doing the wild thing with you." So he's almost saying I miss smoking because you're not here. So I've quit. You should come back. Maybe so I can start smoking again. And then "will you stay? I don't think so." I thought that lyric was saying, "will you stay with me?" when I first listened to it. But when you take it in the context of the rest of the verse, he's actually saying, "will you stay in San Francisco? I don't think so. I think you're going to come back like you said you would." And then, "but all I do is worry," saying like, you know, I don't think you're actually going to stay in San Francisco. I don't think you're actually going to run away with pretty boys and discos. But I have anxiety and it worries me. I worry about the worst case scenarios. So then he says, "pack bags, call cabs, and hurry home to me." He's like, I don't think you're going to leave me, but please come back soon. And then the chorus again, just repeated twice. And then the little outro. "When you betray me with a kiss. Damn you, I've never stayed up as late as this." I do want to point out, "betray me with a kiss" is of course a reference to Judas kissing Jesus on the cheek in the Garden of Gethsemane in order to betray him to the Pharisees, which ultimately leads to Jesus' crucifixion and Judas's suicide. But I just think it's interesting to bring that up here when, you know, that's two men kissing. And this is a gay love song. But anyway, aside from that reading of it, it's interesting to think of it as betraying with a kiss. It makes me think of like, if the person doesn't come back and they're never going to see them again, then the kiss goodbye that they shared before the person went to San Francisco will feel like a betrayal because that was their last kiss. And so, you know, thinking of that being betraying them with a kiss, it's just an interesting way to think of that. And then, "damn you, I've never stayed up as late as this." I assume that is referring to the time difference. I mean, San Francisco and New York are opposite sides of the country. I think that's a 5-hour time difference. So, like, you know, staying up late to phone is 1999. It would have been a phone call. Nowadays, it'd be like staying up late to fucking Zoom call someone or Discord call. But just that little "I've never stayed up as late as this" is a great little coda to the song. I love songs about long distance relationships. I don't know why. It's just a really interesting topic to write about. And I really like that lyric there as well. Especially because it's "damn you." Like, oh, how dare you keep in contact with me? How dare you make me stay up so late to talk to you? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe so you hear more of this good shit. Tell me what you think. Tell other people about this show. Recommend it to anyone you know who has 2 ears connected to a heart. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.